You might be destroying your respect without even realizing it. The truth is, some of the most damaging habits are not loud, visible, or dramatic. They are subtle, almost invisible. They creep into your daily routine, and little by little, they eat away at the image you've built and the way people perceive you. And what makes them so dangerous? You often don't notice them until the damage is done. In today's video, we're going to expose 5 hidden habits that silently kill your respect and prevent you from becoming the person you're truly capable of being. If you want to live by Stoic wisdom, calm, balanced, and worthy of admiration, then eliminating these habits is non-negotiable. So grab a seat, open your mind, and let's begin. Habit number 1, making excuses, the subtle thief of trust. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is also one of the easiest traps to fall into, making excuses. It doesn't matter whether the excuse is big or small. Every time you use one, you're essentially saying, I can't be trusted with responsibility. I remember a phase in my own life when excuses were second nature. If I missed a deadline, I blamed the circumstances. If I was late, I blamed the traffic. If I didn't keep a promise, I'd find a clever way to explain it away. And for a while, I believed it worked. People nodded, accepted my stories, and life went on. But what I didn't realize was this. Every excuse was a small crack in my foundation of respect, because people eventually see the truth. They may not call you out immediately, but they notice. And slowly, they stop taking your words seriously. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies here. Stop defending, justifying, and explaining. Simply act. Show through consistency that your word means something. Excuses feel like protection in the moment, but in reality, they rob you of credibility. A Stoic response is different. Acknowledge the mistake honestly, learn from it, and then move forward without drama, because excuses are a shield for the weak. Responsibility is the sword of the strong. Habit number 2, seeking validation, the hidden chain on your freedom. Another invisible destroyer of respect is constantly seeking validation. Think about it. Every time you need approval before making a decision, every time you adjust your personality just to be liked, you send a silent message to the world: I don't fully respect myself. And here's the hard truth. If you don't respect yourself, others won't either. I saw this clearly in a colleague during my early career. Let's call him Daniel. He was talented, hardworking, and full of ideas. But he had one weakness. He needed constant reassurance. If he gave a presentation, he would nervously ask, "Was that okay? Did I do all right?" If he shared an idea, he would immediately look around for approval, and over time, people noticed not his talent, but his insecurity. His ideas lost weight, not because they weren't good, but because they weren't delivered with conviction. The Stoics warned about this dependency on others' opinions. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, true strength doesn't come from external praise, but from inner alignment with your values. When you live in search of validation, you live as a slave to other people's moods and judgments. But when you stand firm in your principles, whether praised or criticized, you become someone others respect deeply. So ask yourself, do I make choices because they are right or because I want approval? The day you stop begging for validation is the day you start commanding respect. Habit number 3, over-apologizing. When sorry becomes weakness, apologies are powerful when they are sincere and rare, but when every sentence is followed by sorry, sorry for speaking, sorry for existing, sorry for having an opinion, you unknowingly weaken yourself in the eyes of others. I once worked with someone who apologized for everything. If she asked a simple question, she would begin with, "Sorry, can I just ask?" If she sent an email, she would start with, "Sorry to bother you." At first, people thought it was polite, but soon it became clear it wasn't humility, it was insecurity. And instead of earning respect, it made others treat her words as less important. The Stoics taught that dignity comes from accepting reality without shrinking yourself. Seneca wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Over-apologizing is a form of unnecessary suffering. It's a preemptive surrender, a way of apologizing for being yourself. When you say sorry, where thank you would suffice, you trade respect for pity. Instead of "sorry I'm late," say "thank you for waiting." Instead of "sorry for asking," say "I appreciate your help." This small shift transforms your energy from weakness to gratitude, from insecurity to strength. A true apology has weight only when it's rare and meaningful. But when it becomes your default language, people stop listening. Respect is not given to those who constantly bow. It's given to those who stand upright, acknowledge mistakes honestly, and move forward with quiet confidence. Habit number 4, neglecting boundaries, the silent invitation to disrespect another. Hidden habit that destroys respect is failing to set and protect boundaries. When you say yes to everything, when you let people interrupt your time, drain your energy, or cross your limits without consequence, you're essentially training others to disregard you. I once knew someone, let's call him Mark, who was the go-to guy for everything. Need extra work done? Ask Mark. Need someone to cover a shift? Mark will do it. Need help moving furniture on the weekend? Mark won't say no. On the surface, he seemed generous, helpful, a team player. But over time, people stopped respecting him. Why? Because he had no boundaries. His yes meant nothing because it was automatic. His time was treated as less valuable because he treated it as less valuable himself. Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish and stupid. Sometimes saying no will make people uncomfortable. Sometimes it will disappoint them. But if you can't risk their temporary displeasure, you will live permanently disrespected. Setting boundaries is not about being harsh. It's about valuing your time, energy, and principles. Respect begins where self-respect lives. When you say, "I can't do that right now," or "that doesn't work for me," you are teaching others how to treat you. Boundaries are invisible walls that protect your integrity. Without them, you become a doormat. With them, you become someone whose presence is respected, not exploited. Habit number 5, emotional reactivity, letting impulse ruin your image. The final hidden habit is perhaps the most destructive, reacting emotionally without control. Anger, frustration, envy, jealousy, these emotions are natural, but when they dictate your actions, they shatter your reputation. One outburst can undo months of trust. One careless reaction can stain how people see you for years. I remember a colleague early in my career who was brilliant at his job but had one fatal flaw. He couldn't control his temper. If something went wrong in a meeting, he snapped. If someone disagreed, he raised his voice. People started avoiding him, not because of his skills, but because of his volatility. Eventually, he was excluded from leadership opportunities, not for lack of talent, but for lack of self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the Stoic heart of respect, the ability to remain calm in the storm. When you are reactive, you give away your power. People see you as fragile, unpredictable, even dangerous. But when you master your emotions, when you respond instead of react, you command respect effortlessly. The Stoics practiced what we might call the pause. When anger rises, pause. When envy whispers, pause. When anxiety pushes you to act rashly, pause. In that pause lies your freedom and your dignity. Respect is not given to those who control others with rage. Respect is given to those who control themselves with discipline. So there you have it, the 5 hidden habits that kill your respect. Each of these habits may seem small, but repeated daily, they silently erode the respect people have for you, and worse, the respect you have for yourself. The Stoics remind us, respect begins within. If you carry yourself with integrity, calm, and discipline, others will naturally follow. So let me leave you with a challenge. Choose one of these habits you recognize in yourself, and commit, just for the next 24 hours, to replacing it with its opposite. Replace excuses with ownership. Replace validation seeking with self-trust. Replace over-apologizing with gratitude. Replace people-pleasing with boundaries. Replace reactivity with calm, and then repeat it tomorrow. And the day after. That's how transformation begins, not with grand gestures, but with consistent discipline. Leave a comment below. I choose to build respect every day. Let this be the start of your practice. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The best way to command respect is not to demand it, but to live in such a way that it cannot be denied. Until next time, stay grounded, stay disciplined, and keep walking the path of wisdom.